78 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around. 77 bottles of beer on the wall. 77 bottles of beer on the wall. 77 bottles of beer. Hello Americans, hello YouTubers, it's me, your friend Harry Potter, coming to you live from the basement of Teddy's Tackle Box once again. I'm alone. Teddy's not here, Chucky's not here. The tackle box is actually closed. If you've been by lately, in the last week and a half, you've seen the tackle box has actually been closed. Not for Christmas exactly. We see what happened was, I've got about 1 million grandkids. Teddy's got about 1,002,000 grandkids. It is really freezing down here, kids, guys. Teddy's got about 1,002,000 grandkids, and the other day, a couple weeks ago, he went to a winter festival. They can't call it Christmas, They can't use the word Christmas anymore at the schools. But he went to a winter show, a winter spectacular, something like that, at his grandkids' school, where he's got about 17 grandkids going. And I think the figures that they said in the paper is about 174% of the kids at that school had the H1N1 virus. So Teddy caught the H1N1. So me and Chucky have been kidding and telling him, you're getting kicked in the hiney, because, H1N1 kind of looks like the word hiney. Teddy's been sick and shut down the tackle box. He told me to run it, but I don't know what I'm doing when I'm here. I give the wrong stuff to people, and I don't know what to charge for anything, so he just shut it down. And so why am I here if it's closed? Why am I not at home? Well, I'll tell you in 2 words, or in-laws. Yeah, I got in-laws at my house. Or is that 1 word? I think maybe it's 1 word, but hyphenated. So, yeah, I've got in-laws at my house, and about 5 o'clock this morning, I got up and was on my way to the head, and the door opened, and this thing came out. It had hairy legs, and a green face, and a pink bathrobe. It was my mother-in-law. Yeah. I don't know how long these people are going to be at my house. I'm really getting sick and tired of them. And, of course, they never watch my show, so I can say whatever I want about them. And then, pretty soon, I got up again about 6:30. I think I had too many beers last night. I had to use the bathroom a lot. About 6:30, I got up and the bathroom door opened, and there was a pink bathrobe and curlers and green face and fuzzy legs, and this was my father-in-law. Yeah, so I came over here, even though Chucky is like in Arizona. He's a Native American Indian from Arizona, so he went down there to be with his family over the holidays, and Teddy's not here, and I'm all alone because the place is closed. There's no beer, and it's freezing cold. It's about 42 below in here, and no beer. There's nothing to do, but it's still better than being at home with those people. So anyway, I've got a topic. I knew I would get to the topic eventually. It's been a while since you've seen me, so I had a lot of news to share with you, but now we'll get to the topic. Today is New Year's Eve, and so here's something we was talking about here at the Tackle Box the other day, before everybody vanished and abandoned me. This decade is just about up, right? The decade that we just finished, it started in the year 2000, and now it's just about done. So what we would like to know is, what was the decade called anyway? Because I remember the 40s pretty well, and then we had the 50s where Joe McCarthy was telling everybody what a communist they were, and he was one of my heroes. And then we had the 60s. Those were kind of my glory days, because it was in Vietnam. That was one of the best times of my life. And then we had the 70s. The 70s came along with, well, you know, the whole thing with Richard Nixon, but that was okay, because then my good buddy Gerald Ford got to be president. He's one of my best friends ever, you know. I'll have to tell you about that. We had some pretty good times. And then the 80s were pretty good, and then the 90s, which was the 90s was when everything started going to hell, and now we're in what? What is this? Now Teddy thinks the past decade. Well, let me tell you. First, Chucky thinks it's called the oddies. The oddies, you know, could be like 0, could mean aught, some people say. So he likes to call them the oddies. And so I said, okay, so you got the roaring 20s, you got the thrilling 30s, or whatever they call it, and now you got the naughty oddies. and Teddy thinks that the past decade was called the zeros. But I'm like, well, okay, so what if you were a little kid and you were graduating high school in 2008, and you said, what decade did you graduate? And you say, oh, I graduated zeros, and everybody thinks you're a big zero because you graduated in the zero decade. So I don't think that they're called the zeros, but I don't know what the hell to call them. And now that they're just about over, I think it's about time I figured it out. So, what do you guys think? You leave me a comment, or maybe make a video or something and tell me what the last decade was called, so that when I look back not so fondly on it. Oh no, we had a pretty good president. We had George W. Bush through most of it, so that was a pretty good time. But yeah, there was a lot of other crap going on, and it ended in a rotten way, didn't it, with Obama? But hey, you know, next decade is going to be better, because 2012, Sarah Palin will be president. You just mark my words, America. So this is Harry Potter freezing his hinder off in Teddy's tackle box, and I'm not going to call it the best darn bait and tackle shop in all of Shakopee, Minnesota, because it's closed. So why give him any advertisement, right?